Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a very special holiday. This is the Santos Show. We stream every Tuesday our podcast talking about NFL, the week prior and whatnot. This is week 16. We're going to be talking about a lot of good games that happened this week, a lot of surprising, and a little bit about the playoff picture that's going on. We have a fun wager. I put out a message earlier on YouTube on Christmas Eve talking about the wager me and Sammy are going to have. Can't wait to talk about it. But without further ado, like, subscribe every Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Hope to see you guys there. Chat. And let's get it started.
We shall. So we'll start out with the wagers, Justin. So this is
Big one.
Ooh, big wager. All right. So here's the thing. Justin, would you like to explain this or would you like me?
I would love if you explained it.
Okay. So here's the wager, guys. So Justin has the Dolphins pretty much at least solidifying the AFC. I believe it's North, is it, Justin, or an AFC East? You remember what pretty much it's the Dolphins division between the Dolphins and Bills. I have the Bills pretty much overtaking Miami. In order for that to happen, the Bills have to win this week and they also have to win the last week, and it's going up against the Dolphins in order for them to solidify them pretty much, guaranteeing them overtaking Miami. Now, if Miami wins this week against the Ravens, all bets are off. At that point, I automatically lose. So I have a harder thing because Bills have to win not only this week, but they have to win again next week against Miami. And then Miami have to at least beat the Ravens. If they lose against the Ravens, then they have to beat the Bills. If they lose against both, at that point, the Bills will overtake, and then the wager has started. So
AFC East, by the way.
AFC East copy. All right, so here's the wager, guys. Whoever ends up losing this will have to end up wearing the I Love Dak Prescott shirt, pink edition. This is just what it's going to end up being. We will end up wearing it for the week 1 of the playoffs for our podcast. This was a very, very hard.
Now, this also depends on whether or not we can get our hands on this shirt prior to week 1 in the playoffs, and we'll keep you guys updated about that. But yeah, let me start out by saying, dude, if we go against the Cowboys and one of us has to wear this shirt after the ending of week 1 in the playoffs, I'm telling you right now, if we lose, as Bucks fans, Sammy,
it's gonna really.
This is going to be on the internet forever, man. We are gonna go back and realize that everyone's gonna clown us for this picture right here that you guys are seeing, and we can't wait to see who wins this bet. It's gonna be hilarious, man. Make sure you guys tune in every Tuesday, 6 o'clock, but on week 1 of the playoffs. So it's after week 18, if you guys are unfamiliar. 2 more games until week 1 of the playoffs. So about 3 weeks from now, one of us will be wearing this shirt on the podcast.
Yep. So this is what the shirt's going to look like, guys. And hopefully we are able to get the shirt before week 1 playoffs. So whoever ends up losing, like I said, so we're not going to...
It's looking more and more likely like we're going to go against the Cowboys, Sammy. So this is going to be a very miserable shirt. Now, don't get me wrong. If we win the game, whatever, right? But if we lose the game, this will be miserable to wear.
It's going to stain. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt not only for us that we lost, but then we have to wear the opposing quarterback pink t-shirt saying,
and I'm telling you right now, if we lose against the Cowboys and I'm forced to wear this, man, and I lose the bet, I'm gonna have to call a hotline, get my mental right, man, because I'm not gonna be right after this one. I'll tell you that.
I would say the same, man. This is Yeah, so this is the bet, guys. So stay in tune for it. We're definitely gonna see who ends up wearing it. I'm praying that I don't have to, but I do end up having to take the bigger risk on this because, like I said, all Miami has to do is win one game out of these next two games. Just one. Just win one game,
Tough
and
matchup.
they're good. They're good. But they're going against the Ravens this week, who just beat the 49ers. And then they have to go up against the Bills, who already got spanked the last time they went up against them. So hopefully, that since they're going to be playing in Miami, they'll have a better chance. But
Yeah.
only time will tell. Only time will tell. So, but yeah, that's the wager, guys. Hopefully it's going to be a good one for sure. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and start off this podcast. Justin, or start out this segments. And we got the first game, Justin. And I can't wait to talk about it.
We got to talk about this one first. You already know what we're repping. You know, Sammy's got the hat. I got the shirt, man. Mike Evans, what a beast. We're going to be talking about the Jags and our Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
How about Baker Mayfield, man? This is the second week in a row.
2 games in a row, just absolutely lighting it up.
QBR rating, like literally just lighting it up, man. 26 for 35 through 283 yards and only had 2 sacks for 18 for a loss of 18. Had 2 touchdowns with no interceptions and a QBR rating of 90.4. I'm going to tell you, Justin, like, dude, who saw the Buccaneers 8-7 right now? Like, I didn't. I didn't
either.
Mean, this was, especially after losing Tom Brady. And it's crazy. Like, he's like getting all the teammates, all of his, people together. And it's just, he's just making it flow. Everything is just, everything is starting to gel at the right time. And if you want anything to start gelling at the right time, it's December football, because that's when things start crunching, especially leading into the playoffs, which will begin in January. So I am super, super excited to see what the Tampa Bay has honestly done. They are on a 4-win streak. They're looking hot. They just beat the Jags 30-12.
Yeah.
Justin,
dude, I have to issue an apology for all you Bucs fans out there, man.
That's right.
For the past 5 weeks, I've been on the hate train, man. Like, I was like, dude, fire our coach. What are we going to do? Like, let's hit the draft. Let's tank, man. And now that I'm seeing these last, 2-3 games, man, I'm just like, hold on a second. We just won 4 in a row.
Right.
We're on a roll. We don't have the hardest schedule coming up. We're looking really good. And, well done, because I did not expect this. I expected us to probably already be out of the playoffs, eliminated by this point in the season. I thought we were going to be eliminated by week 16, week 17 for sure. And look where we're at.
I mean, Justin,
first place, NFC South, man. I'm so happy, so thrilled. Had to bring out the Mike Evans jersey, man. He is a beast. And let me tell you this. Better not get rid of him. Give this man the money. He deserves all of it. He deserves to be a Buck for life.
Keep him a Buck for life. I've said that since the beginning.
10 straight seasons.
Since the beginning.
10 straight seasons, man. Do you know how hard that is? Sure. Wide receiver number 1. But how many receivers that are on his level that do that for 10 seasons straight? None, right? Because injury, etc., right?
Not many, because
this guy has been able to
Jerry Rice. He's chasing Jerry Rice's
record. This guy has been able to stay healthy, keep his body right, keep his mind right, stay in the game. Yes, he had a lot of drops, but now that we're seeing this connection between Baker and Mike Evans actually unfold and start to
click.
Man, it's looking so good right now, Sammy. And man, I was watching this game and I was just like, how are we whooping the Jags right now. The Jags
27-0. It was 27-0.
I was
at one
so
point.
surprised. I was
27-0.
scared about this game, Sammy. I was just like, no way we're doing this to him right now. There's no way. Like, this team is way better. Earlier this season, I thought this team was 100% better than our team. And now, Trevor Lawrence has a little shoulder injury. Did you see this, Sammy?
I mean, honestly, he's been battling, an injury prior to this.
Yeah.
And leading into this game, it looked like, honestly, I don't even know why they're still having him play. I understand he's their like saving grace, but it's like, if the guy is not performing at 100%, as you saw, like, it shows. And he was throwing he threw, I believe, two picks. He threw 2 picks. That's just unheard of for Trevor Lawrence, man.
And dude, the AFC South is wide the open, man. 3 teams are 8-7. You have the Jags, the Colts, and the Texans all fighting for that spot with 2 games left. It's up for grabs, man. It can be the Colts, it can be the Texans. All 3 teams lost this past week, Sammy. So obviously the Jags are still in first, right? But 2 games left, man. It's anyone's ball game. It's up for grabs. Which team wants it more? Obviously, it's hard to say that the Texans shouldn't be number 1 right now. In my eyes, if CJ Stroud was healthy and was playing these last 2 games, I think that the Texans will be number 1 right now. I think in many people's eyes, they would be number 1 right now in that division. And
it's a 3-way tie, 8-7.
Dude, now that Trevor Lawrence, he was already below 100%, right? He wasn't healthy, wasn't completely healthy at least. Now he injured his shoulder. It's not looking good for them. I thought all 3 Florida teams were going to be in the playoffs this year, but now with this injury, I don't know. I really don't know, Sammy. What do you think?
I honestly believe that if he doesn't get back to 100%, they end up... Honestly, I could even see them missing the playoffs, because I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's possible for them not even to make playoffs if they end up losing out. So if he doesn't get to 100%, this is going to be very bad for the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. I mean, after such a hot season, they started, and then they just haven't been looking the same, man. I've been saying this about this team. They just aren't looking the same, and I don't know what they do at this point.
How about our run defense, man?
Dude.
How about our run defense? I did not expect ETN to only get 12 yards on the ground. You got to be kidding me, man. 12 yards on the ground, ETN? Come on, man. Yeah, I know they were down. They were using him more,
Winfield doing
passes.
the Winfield things again?
But yeah, dude, Winfield is a freaking
going
beast.
Off again?
He's a freaking beast. He did get a little bit banged up at the end of that game, Sammy. I don't know if you saw that. He got a little bit banged up. Hopefully he's healthy and ready to go by next game. And then Javel Dean got injured as well. Concussion. Not sure if he's going to be back by next game. Usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks. If he does have a concussion, usually be 2 to 3 weeks until he's ready to go. But, man, like, this is scary, man, because we really just need one more win against the Saints, and we can be in the playoffs. We can be potentially going against the Rams round 1. We can potentially go against the Eagles round 1. We could potentially go against the Cowboys round 1. And that ties into the wager a little bit. So it should be
I think
cool
it's
to find
leaning
out.
a lot towards the Cowboys right now, as the Eagles don't have that hard of a schedule coming up.
Yes.
And then the Cowboys have, I believe they still have a pretty rough schedule.
Yep. Now remember, if they lose out the Cowboys, the Rams could potentially win out, and we can go against the Rams. And let me tell you one thing. As a Bucks fan, you do not want to go against the Rams round 1. You do not want to, dude. No team wants to go against the Rams right now. Round 1. They got Puka. been going off this season. They got Cooper Kupp, been going off this season. Matthew Stafford is healthy, going off this season. Guess who else healthy on their team? Kyron Williams, been a beast for them. Now he's healthy and he's ready to go. Man, this team is a sleeper. I hope nobody is sleeping on them. Stay tuned because they can win out, and surely we can be going against them round 1, Sammy, and that's what I'm afraid of right now.
Yeah. So we'll see what ends up happening. Honestly, I'm really like I said, I'm really hoping. I wouldn't say honestly they're all three going to be really tough teams, but if I had to choose one, I would choose the Cowboys. Because they're how inconsistent they can be right now.
I mean,
they're on like what, a 2-loss streak right now.
Yes. And I think, Sammy, man, like when you look at our team, our run defense has been really good this season. But we have given up the most air yards to like any team, man. Like this season, our passing defense has been the struggle. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
That's what teams are going to look to attack.
Especially against fast players.
Especially when they look at, this pass game, man. Like we just went up against Jacksonville. Like ETN wasn't able to do anything. When we go against the Saints, Sammy, we need to be able to cover Rashid Shaheed. Cover this guy, man. Do not let him beat you over the top. He will score a touchdown every single time.
And Chris Olave.
Chris
Can't
Olave,
forget about that guy.
He is a phenomenal talent, but Derek Carr does not know how to use him.
Yeah.
He really doesn't. He really doesn't.
I mean, he's been popping off with the past 2 games. He's actually has over 150 yards in both games.
Yeah.
So he's been popping off these past 2 games with him.
I mean, Sammy, yes, you should be.
But last time we went up against him, we held him only 13 yards.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. Like he only had like 1 reception.
And that's the thing I want to talk about, man. Like, if we can do that, we have potential to win this next game and make it to the playoffs. But without further ado,
we're not going to be in the Superdome.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We have a lot of games to talk about, guys.
Yeah.
We're Bucs fans. We're hoping the best for our team. We're still not out of it. We have to win this next game. Otherwise, potentially, we can be falling out of the playoffs. So, I'm not going to say it's 100% that we're in the playoffs, but it surely looks great. Looks good for our team, and we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yep. All right, Justin, and let's start it off with the next game. What do we got next?
All right, we got the Rams and the Saints. Since we were talking about the Saints, let's go ahead and talk about these guys. This is a Thursday night football game. Sammy, let's kick it off with you, man.
So we got the Saints and the Rams, man. Rams ended up coming on top, 30-22. What a nail biter at the end. Holy smokes. It should have been so one-sided here. It should have been Rams like all the way. At one point, I was just like, yeah, Rams got this in the bag. And then next you know, it's the 4th quarter, and it's literally only an 8-point difference. I'm like, what is happening? Like, holy crap. Like, they're only a touchdown back. Anything can happen now. Holy shit. No way. This is not going to happen. No, don't do this to me. I'm like thinking the worst case scenario. They end up winning, and then we're going against Jags. This is before we even play the Jags because this is Thursday night. And I'm like, dude, there's no way this is going to happen. And luckily, like I said, the Rams ended up sneaking this away, holding the Saints back, and they ended up holding them to only 22. So, great win for the Rams, and way to keep your playoff hopes up there, man. I mean, at this point, they're definitely looking at a wild card spot. They have a good shot of potentially even overtaking the Cowboys. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't say Eagles just because, like I said, Eagles have a pretty easy schedule. Yeah. But Cowboys, anything can happen there. They lose these last 2 games, like you were saying, right? Hey, it's up for grabs. So we'll see. What do you got, man? I mean, I think also I want a really big shout out to Kyron Williams, man. 22 carries, 104 yards, had a touchdown. He played phenomenal. And then Puka again, man. I'm telling you, this guy, man, dude, 9 receptions, 164 yards. and a touchdown. Dude, this
Dude.
kid is incredible. What a pickup for the Rams, man. Imagine this rookie has just really outshined a lot.
I'm just gonna go off by saying, dude, if CJ Stroud wasn't as good as he was, dude, Puka Nacua is winning Rookie of the Year, man. He's winning that title, dude. There's no chance. It's literally CJ Stroud and then Puka, like right there. Like they're neck and neck. And remember, CJ Stroud's been out, so he still has a chance to win, but at the same time, man, like CJ Stroud's got the award, man. He's just got it, like
he should
injury or not, he's gonna win it.
We'll see, right? We'll see, because if he doesn't play again at this point, I think it's up for grabs, because just for the simple fact of the Texans potentially not making the playoffs because of it.
And I mean, dude, Puka's been the Rams, man. Kyron Williams was on IR. Mm-hmm. Cooper Kupp didn't come in until late in the season. They're 8-7 right now, and he is like the number one factor of the reason being why they are where they are. Mm-hmm. Really. And he's made that step to the plate, man. And this guy is phenomenal. He's a great wide receiver. People should be looking. Hopefully he gets his bag, because he truly deserves it. And Cooper Kupp, he doesn't have the same pressure he had when he was playing in the Super Bowl, Sammy. Now they have a strong core, 3 players that they can really rely on. And this team still has Aaron Donald on their defense, man. They're looking disgusting. They're putting up 30 points like it's nothing, man. It does get scary later on in the later phase of the game, because they were, stuck. They were punting the ball. They weren't scoring any more points. The Saints were coming back. It got a little bit scary at the end, but at the end of the day, they got the victory. And, man, they are a sleeper in the playoffs. Everyone take notice, because this team right here, I see this team at least winning the first game of the playoffs and potentially even the second game.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible, man. And just keep doing what you're doing. If you're a Rams fan, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep praying for your Rams team. Just keep winning, because they're doing a great job, and they have a great stock right now for potentially upsetting teams into the playoffs. So they're definitely a team to look out for leading into that.
For the Saints, Sammy, what happened, dude? What a disaster.
I'll tell you what happened. Only putting up 7 points in the first half, and then didn't put up anything in the third quarter. They waited all the way to the fourth quarter. They came close, but you can't wait till the fourth quarter. This is what the Bucs were doing, right? This is what our problem was earlier in the season. We weren't putting up points until the second half, and it's like, you can't do that. You need to start out strong. You need to get some touchdowns. You need to get some points on the damn board. You know what I mean? Like, a 7 is okay, but it's just not going to cut it, especially if the Rams are putting up 17. They already have 10-point advantage. At that point, they're already two freaking possessions in front of the other team. It's not looking good. So
dude, they held Alvin Kamara to 19 yards on the ground.
Dude,
can you believe that?
That's insane. And he's such a good, even in the pass, he's a great pass rush guy too. Pass it to him, and he'll run like freaking 10, 15, 20 yards.
Screen guy, yeah.
Right, but that game, he was being held. He had 5 receptions, 16 yards. He was irrelevant. He was irrelevant. He wasn't even a factor in the game. Chris Olave was getting it done, though, in a reception game. He got 123 yards, 9 receptions. So he was doing his thing. Rashid Shaheed, another guy that was doing his thing. He had 5 receptions, 70 yards. So they were doing their thing. They needed help in the run game, and the run game wasn't there. And it's hard to run the ball when you're behind. And we talked about that how many times? This is what happens with the 49ers, you know what I mean? We'll get into that later, but it's like, these great running backs, they can't even run because they're so far behind, and at that point they have to start throwing the ball, and and this is what ends up happening. So
I got one last thing to say about the Saints before we move on to the next one, Sammy.
okay.
For you fantasy managers out there, I am so sorry if you have Alvin Kamara and you're in a championship game. I am so sorry. You're looking at 6 to 10 points, depending on if you're a PPR, half PPR, 6 points, half. Full PPR is about 10 points. I am so sorry. Because, really, 10 points, that's really upsetting. I'm so sorry for you guys. If you have him on your roster and this was your championship game, I am so sorry. Because you probably lost.
Unfortunately. But
all right, let's go ahead and move on.
Saints fans, it's not over for you guys. You guys have to beat the Bucks at this point. If you guys don't beat the Bucks, at that point, I don't even know if they'll have a wild card spot. I mean, it's possible. If they win the last game, maybe.
No, since they lost this game, they're eliminated now. If they lose against the Bucks, they're eliminated. Okay. The Falcons still have a shot because they can win 2 and still make they can still make 6 or 7, like the 7th seed, really, because the 6th seed's pretty much already set. The 7th seed, the Falcons can probably make, but the Saints, their only chance to make the playoffs is if they beat us. Since they lost this game.
Yeah, so at this point, it's a win or, we'll see you next season kind of thing. So
yeah.
Good luck, Saints. You're going up against not trying to be biased here, but you're going up against a pretty tough team right now. Tampa's actually looking pretty filthy right now, so I would not want to go up against them because they're actually clicking. So,
yep.
But Justin, let's talk about this next game. We got the Lions at the Vikings, with the Lions coming out on top 30-24. A lot closer than a lot of people predicted.
Yeah. It's great to see Justin Jefferson back doing what he's doing. Dude, 141 yards. And, dude, they had Nick
with a rookie
Mullins.
Quarterback.
Nick Mullins. I mean, do you guys know who he is? Because I don't. That's just factual.
It's been that kind of year, hasn't it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they
with a lot of
they went from Kirk Cousins to Mullins. Then Mullins came out for Dobbs. Then Dobbs, out for Mullins. And dude, it's just like a fest, man. Like you never know. And now that the Vikings lose this game against the Lions, I don't know what to say, man. The Vikings are just gonna have to look towards next year, man. Get Kirk Cousins back, or see what other quarterbacks are in the market. Do not go out and get Derek Carr, because Derek Carr does not deserve to be a starting quarterback in this league. But beyond that, maybe
did you say Derek Carr?
Yeah, because I think he's going to be a open candidate for a job. Really, I don't think he stays another year. I don't think the Saints trust him to give him another year.
He's an okay backup. But
I think he's going to be a solid backup for a team somewhere. I don't think he stays with the Saints, to be honest. It's not really up for his choice. It's their choice.
I think they just go with somebody else at this point.
Yeah,
they look elsewhere.
But it's great to see Justin Jefferson back out there. What a phenomenal player. If it wasn't for that last pass that was intercepted, if he would have just threw it a little bit further, man, just a little bit further, lofted it up to Justin Jefferson, it's a touchdown. And we're talking a different game. The Lions don't win out the division. Now the Vikings are 8-7, and this is a completely different outlook. They still have hopes to make the playoffs, but now it's looking very grim for the Vikings. I'm very sorry to you guys. It's been an up and down slope for you guys, and honestly, for you guys to make the playoffs, it was like a coin flip. Once Kirk Cousins went down, coin flip, right? Like, depends on your luck. You got lucky for a couple more wins after Kirk Cousins went down, but I don't know what else to say about the Vikings, man. You want to talk about the Lions now?
I know what to say about the Vikings. We will see you next season. That's what I say. They still have high hopes for next year, but for this season, I think they should start looking towards next season, and I think that's what they're doing, right? That's why they have the rookie quarterback in, and I mean he has. He didn't do too bad, but
Yeah.
throwing 4 picks is definitely a problem. That's you just can't do that. He did end up throwing, 400. He did break 400 yards throwing, but you can't throw 4 picks. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see next season. I hope for the best. I think they'll be definitely a contender for next year with Kirk Cousins coming back. But as for this season, I think it's just a wash. So, yeah, and then
they're not completely out of it, man, dude. 30%.
And for the Lions,
30%.
And for the
Chance
Lions
to make playoffs.
Yeah, and then for the Lions, Justin, how about a chance to get number 1 in the AFC? How about that? The first seed in the AFC.
Still a chance. Yeah, 2 games left. They're 11-4, man.
It's possible.
Dude, like we've been saying since the beginning of the season. Even last season, I was saying this when we were doing the podcast. I was saying, dude, these Lions, watch out. They're going to take the division. They have a strong team. David Montgomery's been going off. He went down. Jahmyr Gibbs took over. Now Jahmyr Gibbs is going off. And now they have the 1-2 punch. Now Jared Goff, if he doesn't throw interceptions, guess what? They win, right? We've been saying this, since 5-6 weeks ago. Jared Goff doesn't throw interceptions. They don't have turnovers. They win the game because their offense is just that good. They can push it down the field, right?
Right.
Because they have the run game. They have a sick rookie tight end, Sam Laporta, who's been phenomenal for them this season. And Amon-Ra St. Brown been going off the rail as well. And, I mean, dude, overall, Dan Campbell, I have to give him a shit ton of credit, man. This guy has been putting in a lot of effort in the coaching department. And for you guys that don't know, Dan Campbell actually played for the Lions, and they went like 0-16 or some 0-14 or something like that to start the season. And now look at them. 11-4. This is the first time they won a division title in 30 years, Sammy. Congratulations to the Lions. They're right now at the 2 seed. And, if they went out, possibly the 1 seed, man. And what a job Jared Goff has done. And Dan Campbell with, this receiving group, the tight end group, the running game group, man. What a job. Phenomenal job from the Lions, man. That's all I have to say about them. It's just, when you look at this roster, they've been getting it done, man.
Yeah, they have. I will say, and I'm just saying this. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt the Lions fans.
I know what you're gonna say, but yes.
I don't think they make it far in the playoffs, and the reason why I say that is because I've seen too many things that just don't look right, and I'm just like, I don't see them as a super big threat. It's kind of like Kansas right now, in a way. Kind of like that.
No.
But not as bad. Not as bad, right? Not as bad as Kansas.
Okay.
But I will say they are looking kind of like this. It's not like they're just looking great. They're just like this because of the games they have won and then the games that they have lost. So you look at that.
Sammy, they're 4 losses, really. When you look at those 4 losses, multiple interceptions, multiple turnovers, right? That was their reason, right? That was the reason for losing, right?
Yep.
If they find a way to negate the turnovers, play a little bit more humble with the ball, try to maintain the ball and not turn it over, these Lions are a threat, man. They really are. No matter what team they go against, they're a threat if they take care of the football. And that's all I have to say about this game, Sammy.
Just take care of the damn football.
Take care of the football.
It's not hard, right? We're also not a quarterback, so
Yeah.
we wouldn't know all that. But I would definitely say, I mean, just take care of the damn football. Throw it away if you have to. You know what I mean? It's a lot better. Punting is a whole lot better than getting a pick. I'll definitely say that. Or a fumble. Even worse. So, all right. Let's jump into the next game, Justin. We got the Browns and Texans, with the Browns coming out on top, 36-22. And we just talked about this, right? CJ Stroud, still injured, still hurt, not able to play. They had two quarterbacks play this game, Davis Mills and Case Keenum. Two people, I don't even know who the hell they are.
You know who Case Keenum is. Case Keenum was on the Vikings. He led that drive in the playoffs, if you don't remember. I think it was him, right? It couldn't have been Kirk Cousins, was it?
I thought it was Kirk. No, that was Kirk Cousins.
Okay. Case Keenum was on the Vikings at one point. I do remember that. And so, I mean, he's just a backup, really, for the Texans. Davis Mills was the backup as well, like a third string rookie guy. But, dude, like, they don't have CJ Stroud. They don't have Tank Dell. Like, Singletary's been able to get it going as the season progressed, but hasn't been the guy that no matter who's playing quarterback can still thrive, right? Like
I'll tell you who
Christian
the guy
McCaffrey
is right
or
now.
somebody. But
I'll tell you who the guy is right now.
I mean, everyone knows the guy right now.
Joe Flacco.
That's on Cleveland, right?
What is
But
happening?
the guy on the Texans, Sammy, has to be Nico Collins from now and until like forever, right? Like,
yeah.
Until maybe next year when Tank Dell comes back. But Nico Collins has to be that guy, man. He really has to get open, and it could be because of their quarterback. They're not, they're not practicing as much together. They're off target. They don't have a connection because they haven't played the season together. So there's a lot of issues going on over there. We really need to see CJ Stroud back on this team to see what kind of threat they are moving forward. I'm not sure how long he's out for, Sammy. Do you know? Do you know if he's going to be coming back next game or possibly playoffs, etc.?
Are we talking about CJ Stroud?
Yes. If you want to look that up real quick, I'll go ahead and talk about the Browns.
I'm sorry, my headphones just cut out. So if you want to continue real quick, let me fix it real quick.
Cool.
I don't know what's going on.
So for the Browns guys, we have Joe Flacco, who's been taking over the reins for the Browns for the past 2 weeks.
Okay, I'm back working.
2 or 3 weeks. I'm not too sure. I believe it's only 2 weeks now that he's been, starting with the Browns, and what a job he's really done. This last game, he wasn't really good. He threw a lot of interceptions, but this game right here, yes, he threw 2 interceptions, but like,
still got the job done, man. And that's
when was the last time you saw Amari Cooper go for 265 yards? Where was this all season?
That's a nice fat paycheck right there. I'll take $500K. By the way, if you guys don't know, for every win Joe Flacco gets, that's $500K. Justin, 11 receptions, 265 yards. He averaged 24.1 yards per freaking reception, 2 touchdowns, 75-yard long, 15. I don't even know.
PPR leagues,
I mean,
50 points.
This is where we go back to, Justin. Was the trade from the Cowboys, was that bad on their part, dropping Amari Cooper or like trading him to the Browns? Was that bad? Should they have kept him? Imagine if they had CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
this year.
I don't think they...
Bro.
Here's the problem with Amari Cooper. If he's not playing at home, he does nothing. And then this game,
you can say the same thing about the damn Cowboys.
And then this random ass game, where he plays away, 265 yards. You saw that coming, Sammy?
Crushes.
You saw that coming?
Just crushes it.
No, right?
I mean, no. How could anybody see that? Nobody saw that. He broke the franchise record for the Browns for most receptions, yardage wise. It's
averaged
insane.
24 yards a fucking catch.
If he was on your guys' fantasy, by the way, guys,
50 points.
You guys were in the playoffs.
Awesome.
Congrats. You might have just won your playoffs finals, or
Hopefully,
you're making it to the finals now.
But if he was on your roster, chances are you're already eliminated because he was that ass for you the entire season. He was that ass for you the entire season, and now a random 50-point game. No, dude, you don't. I don't. Nobody saw this one coming. If you had him, congratulations. You just made a crazy bet and it paid off. You should probably go to Vegas tomorrow and go gamble because like nobody saw this one coming really. And Njoku's been going off for them as well. I saw that potential for him last year. Last year he's had a really good potential for him last year to. I saw a glimpse. I knew he was gonna go into the Browns team this year.
He just needed a veteran quarterback. He just needed a veteran quarterback, man. Like he needed somebody that knew players, kind of like has that. Like Joe Flacco, he's a Super Bowl winner, right? We can't deny he is definitely one of he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. But I will definitely say this: he did everything you could ask for, man.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Browns fan, there is no way you are just like, I understand you're probably mad about how it happened, like how everything has happened, especially starting the beginning of the season, losing Nick Chubb, and then starting to lose, your main quarterback, man. I know that hurts, but you guys got Joe Flacco. I understand he's throwing interceptions, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter when you have a top defense that's literally holding the opposing team. And then on top of that, he can still throw way down the field. This guy still has an arm for as old as he is. He's 37, I believe, 37 years old, and he's still throwing like 75 yards down the field.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has a cannon. Yep. And it's
scary.
And
we didn't really see that when he was playing on the Ravens.
No.
We didn't really see that.
Nope.
So, kudos to them for going and picking him up because now they're 10-5, Sammy. They're 10-5. They're 2 games away. They really needed the Ravens to lose against the 49ers to see if they have a chance to overtake the division and possibly take number 1 in the AFC. Are you kidding me? The Browns? Are you fucking kidding me? The Browns. We're talking about one of the largest droughts, actually the largest drought in the NFL. Right. Is the Cleveland Browns winning the division. We talked about the Lions, 30 years. Well, let me tell you what. It's been like 40 years since the Browns won a division. Okay? Mm-hmm. Title. So, I mean, dude, they're 10-5. They're 2 games away from the Ravens. We'll have to wait and see if the Ravens decide to lose out. Their next 2 games the Browns have is the Jets and the Bengals. They can win both games easily, right? If they play like they've been playing, regardless interceptions or not, they can win these 2 games and possibly still have a chance to overtake. I'm not too sure if they've been head-to-head with the Ravens this year, Sammy. Do you know if they've been head-to-head? Oh, they have. And they beat the Ravens. So if they win out, oh my God, if they win out, Sammy, and the Ravens lose out, bro, they can win their first, dude. They can win first place in the AFC. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, they can't. No, they cannot.
They won the head-to-head against the Ravens, Sammy. Yes, they can. They're 2 games away.
But
2 games
Baltimore
left.
would have to lose out.
Yes,
Baltimore would have to lose out.
They're like same scenario where like the Cowboys would have to lose out for the Rams to overtake.
Justin, let's
it's a lot of speculation. A lot of speculation.
Let's bring it back to earth.
Dude, the Ravens don't have
over the top.
Dude, listen, the Ravens don't have
Not after the game of yesterday. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not betting against those Ravens. There's no way you're getting me to bet against those Ravens.
All right, we'll get into that game, but for instance, they lost by 7 points, Sammy. The 49ers lost by 7 points. They threw 5 interceptions that game, and they only lost by 7 points.
Justin, it was so one-sided. It didn't even matter. You understand that, right?
Okay.
It was so one-sided. It didn't even matter.
Hey, listen,
it didn't matter what kind of comeback they were trying
I'm
to make.
always rooting for the underdog,
Guess
man.
who was in the quarterback?
Always.
Guess who was in the quarterback? It was Andy Dalton. And he was actually performing better than freaking Brock Purdy. And we'll get into that. But like I said,
so the Ravens have 2 games. They have the Dolphins and the Steelers. They can lose against the Dolphins, man. And the Steelers, the way Kyle Rudolph played, they can lose against the Steelers as well, man. The Steelers got a great defense as well. So if they lose out and the Browns decide to win out with their easy schedule coming up, dude, I'm telling you, they might be able to break that streak, man. I'm just saying it's a speculation, of course, right? But it's not 0%. It's not 0%. It's not 0%. They still have a chance. And, I mean, dude, kudos to the Browns organization. We never saw this coming, especially after Deshaun Watson went down. We never, ever saw this coming. We never knew.
Anything, we were starting to rub off the Browns, saying, we'll see you guys next season because it's not looking good.
What the hell, man? Myles Garrett having another killer year, man. This guy is an absolute monster, leading the charge on their defense, man. Their defense is no joke. Number 1 for a reason.
Absolutely.
And without further ado, let's move on, Sammy.
Yeah, let's move on. Congrats to the Browns. Keep doing what you're doing. You definitely have a potential to. I would definitely say you're definitely in the runnings for upper wild card spot. So keep doing what you guys are doing, man. I think you guys at least make the playoffs, and then we'll see how it goes. I mean, you guys got Joe Flacco, and he's doing actually not too bad. I understand he's throwing picks, but hell,
they're in a really good spot
if he's throwing 75 yards down the field, and Amari Cooper's there, or any of these other receivers, or Njoku, that he loves Njoku too. I'm gonna tell you right now, or Elijah Moore, any of these guys, man. Just keep doing what you're doing,
And they still have Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt on the ground, so they still have a great running game as well.
I could see this team looking very scary.
Also,
in the playoffs.
Let's talk about their seeding real quick. Right now, they have the 5th seed. Speculation, but as of right now, they'll be going against the Jaguars round 1. That is a really, really good
matchup.
That is a really good matchup. They can potentially make it past round 1.
Stay there. Honestly, you might just want to stay there. I wouldn't want to move. I'd be like, shit, I'm comfy right here. So, but yeah, without further ado, Justin,
let's talk about the next one.
Let's talk about this, man. I know.
Oh God, here we go. I'm gonna have you start this one off, dude, because I want you to talk about the Dolphins, all right? So we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Miami Dolphins.
I'll hit the Dolphins.
We're away. We got 20-22. Dolphins take this one as a dub. Kick it off, Sammy.
All right, Justin. I'm going to hit the Dolphins. You're going to hit the Cowboys. All right? All right. I'm going to hit these Dolphins. How about those Dolphins, man? 11-4. Getting it done, beating the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong, they still got a very rough schedule ahead. But wow, huge win, because now they are right behind Baltimore Ravens, and they are about to go up against them this coming week. It's absolutely incredible. Tua throwing 293 yards, threw a touchdown. Tyreek Hill not feeling very well. Still got 9 receptions for 99 yards. What a beast. And then you also have Raheem Mostert still getting it done. Achane didn't do too much, but I will definitely say, like, another guy I definitely would not sleep on. This roster can be very scary leading into the playoffs. And mark my words, watch out. So, and like I said, we already have this bet. I have also Miami losing these next 2 games, but this team at the end of the day is a very scary team. So we'll see what ends up happening. And then Justin, if you want to go ahead and talk about these Cowboys, I know you really want to.
Well, first things first, I want to talk about Tyreek Hill, man. He's at 1,600 yards or more. A little bit more, I believe. Dude, if he didn't go out last game, he's literally at, like, I'm thinking, 1,800 yards. And then he's only got 200 yards left to go for the 2,000-yard mark. A lot of you guys don't understand what that actually means, bro. The last time we saw somebody like that, man, like, dude, come on, man. Like, this guy, give him credit. Nobody can guard this guy. He's too fast, too agile. And a lot of it has to do with his height. A lot of it has to do with his mobility. But, man, opening drive, if you guys saw that pass where he dropped it, if he would have caught that, that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. That is a touchdown, and he would be over 150 yards for this game, and that puts him at 17 plus.
And
Justin, watch out. Watch out, man.
He is going to need about $180 for these next 2 games. Yes. Actually, yeah, right around there.
Yeah.
In order to
get that 2,000 mark.
2,000.
It sucks because of that injury.
2 last games too. So
it sucks because of that injury, but man, dude, what a season from this guy. He said in the beginning of the season, if you didn't know what he said, I'm going for 2,000 yards this season. He did. He literally said this.
Everybody laughed.
Everyone was laughing because it's a joke, right? Like, dude, 2,000 yards from a wide receiver, that never happens, right? Like, not in this day and age, at least.
Nope.
Dude, like, incredible job from the Dolphins. I have incredibly high standards for them moving forward because of this bet that I made with Sammy. Okay, I want him to wear that fucking pink ass I love Dak shirt. So I have incredibly high hopes. Don't let me down, Dolphins. I'm going for you guys. Please do not make me a loser in this bet. I will lose my mind.
Please win these last
And then for the Cowboys, I'm gonna go off of what Sammy was saying. And what pretty much everyone's been saying. These Cowboys have not looked right on the road. They just can't get it done on the road. And that's really tough to see because if they are indeed in the 5th spot, and that's where their season ends, and they start the playoffs, and they're in the 5th seed, and they go against Tampa, guess what? No matter what team they're against, they're away. They're not home. They could potentially lose round 1, and this is what Cowboys fans are fearing right now because of the way they played on the road this season. Most of their losses are because they're away. They're 3-5. Actually, all of their losses were away. So, I mean, dude, it's great to see Brandon Cooks out there doing his thing. He's finally been able to put it together for the last couple games. But, CD Lamb's been going off, but not this game. 118 yards, sure, but still not able to get it done. Tony Pollard, he's been an up and down slope. We thought that Tony Pollard would be better than what he is right now. I thought for a fact that, like, when they got rid of Ezekiel Elliott, I thought Tony Pollard was going to be the guy. What happened to this guy? This guy hasn't really shown his potential this year. And a lot of you fantasy managers drafted him, top 10. And if you did, you were eliminated. It's just what it is. What it is. And they have a great roster. They have 10 wins on the board, a lot of tough losses, and that's the fear of this team. Can they get it done on the road? Because now it's looking like they're going to be on the road round 1.
Yep, and exactly what you said, Justin. All of their losses have been away, and that is something to really, really point out because this team has that history of going and getting eliminated the first round, and you just don't want to see it if you're a Cowboys fan. So they're praying for the best. They're hoping that this curse doesn't end up happening, but at this point in time, it's looking more evident it might. So, and if they go up against the Bucks, and the Bucks, like I said, like we said, they're playing hot right now. I don't know, man. It's anybody's game. It's anybody's game. I had the Cowboys definitely favored, but like now, I don't know, because they're not gonna be home. They're not gonna be home the first game. It's looking like. I mean, it's still a possibility that they could get, first seed, but they got to 1 win out, and then 2 hope the Eagles lose 1. They have to lose 1, and the Eagles have an easy schedule.
Dude, how many times in this game, Sammy, did you see them in their own end zone? From their own end zone trying to get out.
Oh, it was bad.
Dude, like punt situation
They
after
were
punt
pitching them
situation,
back.
be put in the end zone, and there was nothing they can do, man, until the refs say, we got to get the Cowboys out of the end zone, man. Let's pull a flag. Let's get them 20 yards deep so they can actually make something happen. People will actually pay for the game. In my eyes, that's what I saw, man. Like literally, that's what I saw. I didn't think that flag was deserving. I didn't think that guy put his weight on Dak. Dak pulled him on top of him. That was not deserving of a flag. If anything, that was 2 points and a safety. Okay? Just so you guys know, this should have been 24-20, okay? Now, good luck, but it's not looking good for the Cowboys. It's really not. And this is the type of stuff they dealt with there in for the past 10 years. Okay? Like they've always been a good team in the regular season, and the first round comes in the playoffs and they lose.
Yep. Definitely.
If this happens this year, Sammy, with this roster, there's some major changes that need to happen. And guess what? I say this every single year that we talk about the Cowboys. It's Jerry Jones. There's a curse. There's a curse for the Cowboys, and it starts with Jerry Jones. Now let's move on to the next one, Sammy. We're running low on time.
I know. All right, and then we got the next one with the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Raiders beating the Chiefs 20-14. What a fucking stupid game, man. What a stupid game, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if you guys know, I have Patrick Mahomes and I have freaking Travis Kelce. What a freaking, oh, dude, what a bust. What a bust this year, man. This year for these two guys, man, have just been the worst year they have seen since they've started, since Patrick Mahomes came to this team. This team, the past 4 years, have been the team, one of the scariest teams in the NFL that you just don't want to go up against. And at this point in time, I'm not scared. I wouldn't be. Who would be?
Dude,
this team does not look the same. The passing doesn't look the same. The connections aren't looking the same. There's no O-line to hold for Patrick. Patrick can barely freaking ever stay in the pocket. He's always rolling out. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was before, but at least he had freaking receivers. Now you have receivers that can't catch a ball. And then you also have Patrick throwing INTs for pick sixes. Oh my goodness. And then fumbling the ball for a pick six too.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, dude,
defense had 2 touchdowns on Kansas. They had 0 offense, 0 touchdowns the entire freaking time. It was just the Raiders defense stopping Kansas City, and it was so satisfying to watch those Kansas City Chiefs fans as they wept in their chairs. Yep. And they were like, what happened to our team? It's just so sad. That stadium looked so quiet, man. It was sad. It was sad.
I think the most sad thing about this game is when you look at the stat sheet, man. Aiden O'Connell. You
9 for 21.
You think when you look at the stat, dude, when you look at the stat sheet, you think the Raiders deserve this win? Like, really? Aiden O'Connell, 9 for 21, 62 yards. QBR
it was the run
12.1.
It was the run
and
game. Talk about that run game, Justin.
The Chiefs.
Talk about that run game.
Dude,
talk about that run game.
I don't even need to talk about the run game. They don't deserve to win, bro. Look.
I mean, Zamir White, Justin, 22 carries, 145 yards.
Dude, the
guy actually.
They didn't even have Josh Jacobs. And honestly, in my opinion, this is Zamir White's second game going off.
Zamir White did awesome.
Second game. This is his second game in a row going off. Josh Jacobs wasn't there last week as well. He went off both weeks. Do they start Josh Jacobs in the future if he comes back?
Yes.
Do they trade him away?
Yes.
I'm very confused here because
I mean they might trade.
They
might trade.
Josh Jacobs really hasn't shown the player that he was last year. He didn't show pretty much anything this year. His play this year has really surprised me. Part of it was because I was really focused on him because I have him on my fantasy roster, like many of you all. Dude, like, he hasn't really shown much. Zamir White comes in there and gets it done two games in a row. If he continues this moving forward, they might look to trade. They really might. And the Raiders aren't out of it completely. It's looking very grim. They're at 11% chance to make the playoffs. I believe they do get eliminated. And that's just my personal opinion. I'm not sure what they do with Jimmy G moving forward. I don't know what they do with Aiden O'Connell moving forward.
You know what's the scariest part, Justin? If the Kansas City Chiefs lose out and the Raiders win out, Raiders overtake Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't even want to bring that into conversation because if that was to ever happen, I think I would lose my mind. I think
I think everybody would.
Dude, I think Chiefs fans around the board would start burning jerseys.
It would be so weird not to see KC.
I don't know what they do if that was to happen, man. I really don't.
It would be very weird to see KC not in the playoffs at all. It would feel so weird. Just like the Bengals at this point, right? It's just so weird.
We look at their number one wide receiver. Devontae Adams had one reception for 4 yards.
4 yards.
And they win against the Chiefs. That's just the period right there. That's boop, period. Like right there. How? Yep. How? The Kansas City Chiefs beat themselves.
Yep.
End of story. All right, let's move forward, Sammy. We're really cashing in.
We're going through a lot of games, guys. We had 7 games for you guys to review, so it's tough, and we saved the best for last. So if you guys have been waiting for this, it has finally come. We got last night game. Baltimore Ravens at the San Francisco 49ers, the golden child of the NFL right now. Wow. Baltimore Ravens take this game 33-19.
Sammy, go ahead and talk about the
calling for Brock
I will
Purdy.
talk.
Calling for
I will
Brock
talk
Purdy.
about the 49ers, Sammy.
Are you there? Are you there? Hello? What happened? Wait, I thought you were there. I thought you were supposed to be the MVP candidate. I thought you were the GOAT. Yeah. No. Not today. Justin, take it away. Talk about these 49ers. What the hell happened?
Well, let me start off by saying you can't have 5 interceptions and try to win a game. End of story. You have that many turnovers, there's no way in hell you're winning the game. Unless your defense scores. That's just what it is, man. Like, it really is. Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions, and let me add, the first interception of the game was a perfect pass, but he did not see the safety in the back lurking. And what did he do? intercepted it right there. You can't have that happen, man. Not at that particular moment. When you're in the red zone, you need to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey, let him do his thing, do little screen passes like you've been doing all season. Why are you throwing it in the end zone? I really don't understand. I really didn't understand it. I thought they were going to be running the ball a bunch this game, which they did. They did. But when Brock Purdy threw the second interception, don't you think they should have ran the ball a lot more than they did? And that's all I got for it, man. Christian McCaffrey, 14 carries, 103 yards. You know, he was doing his thing, trying his hardest.
Christian McCaffrey is not... It is... I'm going to tell you right now, Christian McCaffrey by himself felt like he was carrying that offense. He was doing the best he could.
Well,
he was
George
doing
Kittle saying
everything he could. Like, the guy is a freak of nature. And if you don't see that this guy doesn't deserve an MVP, you've lost your mind. Because this guy, no doubt, deserves MVP. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, they didn't win, but that wasn't because of him. It wasn't because of him. If anything, he only had 14 carries, still got over 100 yards in the rushing game. He was still doing his damn thing. And the only reason why he couldn't rush more is because they were so far behind. Because their defense, what happened to the 49ers defense? Lamar was like over here, then he was over there, then he was just whoa.
Lamar
he was just zigzagging through
man.
their defense. The rushers, Bosa and Chase Young, looked tired. They were looking tired, dude. They were tired of chasing him. They were. They literally couldn't chase. They couldn't catch him. And that is what everybody was saying. That was like the one thing everybody was looking out for. Like, can they stick and can they get to Lamar Jackson? Because if he gets scrambles out of that pocket, he's a fast quarterback and he can use his legs, kind of like a Michael Vick. He can use his legs and he can go out of the pocket and he's a threat because when he gets out of the pocket, he can run or he can throw. Yeah. So, and it's like, you know, you have to make a choice. If you're a defender, you know, you're like, should I push him or should I stick to my defender?
And he didn't have his favorite. He didn't even have his favorite target, Sammy. He didn't have Mark Andrews this game. He didn't have Mark Andrews this game.
Mark Andrews still not
Dude,
there.
he did not have Mark Andrews.
Nope. Isaiah Likely, though. And he had 3 receptions for 56 yards.
I don't know.
So, Zay Flowers, dude, made another amazing rookie. Like, wow. 9 receptions, 72 yards. Like, he's been doing this all year, though. Like, Zay Flowers is definitely, like, one of the rookies for this team that has definitely
stepped up to the plate
a lot. Yeah. And they needed that. They needed it. So, you know, big congrats to the Baltimore Ravens for this huge win over San Fran because a lot of doubters.
The victory goes to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore defense.
Absolutely.
The Baltimore defense, a lot of credit, man. You guys were able to stop the 49ers and only have them score 19. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the interceptions. A lot of that has to do with the flags that they were called. But, like, dude, like, the 49ers beat themselves, man. Brock Purdy, this really sucks for you in your MVP race because now I don't know if you win it. I really don't know if you fully
tanked it, but
I don't think you're out of it completely. But if you win that, if you win this game, Brock Purdy, and you do not throw those interceptions, you are the front runner for MVP.
Yep, absolutely.
Without a doubt, in everyone's mind, you are the number one candidate.
Unfortunately,
for
even
MVP.
though it'll still be Christian McCaffrey, but you know,
yeah,
we're not gonna talk about that.
Now this opens the door for others, including non-QBs, to win the award, like Tyreek Hill, like Christian McCaffrey. I mean, shit, even Myles Garrett, right? Like, all of these guys are well deserving, in my eyes, of the MVP. They really are. I haven't seen any QB really set themselves apart from the other group. Even Lamar Jackson, he hasn't really set himself apart either. But you know how the NFL rolls, Sammy, right? Just like everyone. Best team, best quarterback, right? It's usually how it rolls. And without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This one is what it is. The 49ers didn't necessarily have to win this one. The Ravens, on the other hand, definitely did have to win this one. The Ravens had to win this one.
Way to silent those 49ers fans. Holy smokes. That was, dude.
And they were favored. They were at home. They were at home.
Everyone
went for the 49ers, man.
Everybody
and for them to beat them the way they did, man,
I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the announcers were like 50-50. Only because, and they were saying this, right? Because of Lamar Jackson and his ability to run. Because Brock Purdy, he is a pocket passer. Lamar Jackson, he doesn't need to be in the pocket. He can roll out. He can do whatever he wants. And that's what he did. He ran all over them, Justin.
45 yards.
All over them. He ran, 45 yards.
His longest was 30 yards.
Potential number one defense in the NFL. So that has a lot of merit.
I would say top 5 for sure. Number 1, I believe that one goes to the Cleveland defense without a doubt.
His stock definitely has gone up.
Baltimore defense is up there as well.
They're the real deal.
I think both of those defense are neck and neck. Although after seeing this game, Baltimore defense definitely has a little bit more than San Fran. I'm just saying, the San Fran just looked lost out there. They weren't used to having their quarterback run over them like they did. I mean, he was the top leading rusher on their team. That just says it right there. I can't believe Lamar Jackson was able to run 30 yards. And, 30 yards?
You saw that play? You saw that play when he went around?
Yes.
When he scrambled?
He made him look so dumb.
He zigzagged between them?
He made him look so dumb. Dude, the guy went up to him and had to, dap him up for doing that. And Lamar Jackson was just laughing.
I think it was Bosa. I think Bosa went up to him and he gave him a pat on the head like damn, you're killing us, man. Can you slow it down probably? He's like, damn, man, you're catching me out of breath. I can't even get to you. You're just all over the damn place. So,
but I still firmly believe without the 5 interceptions, dude, they left at least 3 touchdowns on the board. At least 3 touchdowns, maybe even more. So the 49ers, I still believe, are a better team. But just like the Lions, just like the Eagles, just like the Cowboys, when they have turnovers like these, they're very costly. Very, very costly, and they will lose the game because of it.
The pressure got to Purdy. That's what happened.
And what have you been saying all season, Sammy? If Brock Purdy goes against a good defense, what happens?
I've been saying it.
Now I see it. So I have to give you credit on that one, Sammy, but man, it's just wow, a lot of people lost money on this game. And without further ado, let's move on to the next.
Hard loss. And by the way, that also makes the number 1 spot potentially up for grabs. And Eagles potentially to get that number 1 spot now.
Yep.
And I can see it.
And what a way to get the first round bye after losing 3 in a row. They still have a chance to get the first round bye. We saw the 49ers lose 3 in a row. Then they went on a huge push, not losing. This is their first game they lost in a very long time, Sammy. And it's against a good team. So, losses like this happen. But it's definitely really, really bad to see this late in the season against a really, really strong number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens.
Yep. All right, and let's go ahead and kick off to the next segment, guys. We got rapid fire. So if you guys are also new to this, this is where we go to the last remaining games that we haven't touched up on, and Justin gives his minute. He has a minute to go over those games, or maybe even less, and we just talk about it. And most of the time, it's very quick, very to the point. So let's go ahead and start getting into it. Justin, are you ready?
All right. Good to go, man.
All right, here we go. So for the first game, we got the Bengals at the Steelers. So, and Steelers coming out on top 34-11. Justin,
Yes.
what happened to the Bengals?
Dude, I watched this game, man, and let me start off by saying, dude, Jake Browning, he was so scared of TJ Watt. So scared. This guy was so scared of TJ Watt. TJ Watt literally was their defense. And then, man, Pickens, after having that game last week where he decided not to block for his teammate and they lose the game, well, look what he did this game. Does he need to block? I don't know. I really don't know. He's got the talent that he's shown the world what he can do. Sure, it does suck that he didn't block because there could have been 2 wins in a row instead of a loss win scenario that they're in, because that would have maybe put them into the playoff picture a little bit more. They would have been fighting for that 7 seed. But now it's really, really tough because they have to win out. If they don't win out, they lose one game, they're eliminated, right? What did I say last week, Sammy? I said the Steelers are going to talk about Mike Tomlin's job. And guess what was the headline this week? Is Mike Tomlin's job up for takes? And it's a debate now, Sammy, and it's all over the news. Everyone's talking about it. Does Mike Tomlin still deserve the job? Well, you could say yes after this game, right?
Yep. He is still over 500, which he has had every year since he has been the head coach of this team, and they are over 500 right now. So at this pace, they can definitely be at over 500, and if they are, I could definitely still see him being the head coach for the Steelers. Yep. I don't see reason why to lose him. I think they need to trade quarterbacks. Quarterbacks need to change. Rudolph did better than I've seen Pickett do all freaking year. So
I would agree. I would agree. And then also
Rudolph,
on the other end of the board, guess who's been picking it up for the Bengals, man? T. Higgins. 2 weeks in a row without Jamar Chase going off.
But unfortunately,
yeah,
ended up still coming with the L. So
yep.
All right, on to the next game. Justin, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Chargers, with the Bills coming out on top. Barely 24-22. Definitely didn't see it this close. Justin, what's your take on this?
How did you guys almost lose to the Chargers? That's all I got, man. I don't know how the Bills almost lost to the Chargers, really. I really don't. The Chargers are already out. They're eliminated, right? Like, Justin Herbert's not in. Sammy, you expect them to win out? Well, what this is showing me is how the hell are they going to win out when they're barely beating the Chargers? They barely beat a team that's already been eliminated without their number 1 quarterback. This team is going to win out and take the seed over the Dolphins? Yeah, okay, absolutely not. Okay, that's it. All right. Other than that, great win. You still have 2 more wins before you're able to take the division, and you need the Dolphins to lose. Good luck to you guys. I think their stellar play is coming a little bit too late, though. They need to show this earlier in the season and not have those losses, and then build that into the playoffs. So that way they get their top seeding, right? They get the first round bye, right? Because I feel like that is what's needed for this team to get to the Super Bowl. We've seen them in the playoffs multiple times, and fatigue sits in because they don't have the first round bye. And guess what? They're looking more and more like they're not going to get that first round bye.
I will definitely also say this is the first game that they also are with the new head coach and everything. And it's, dude, they performed very well, the Chargers. They even performed with a new quarterback. Great job on the Chargers. Honestly, great. Don't get me wrong, you ended up still losing, but against a great team by only 2 points. Definitely nothing to, be like all upset about. If anything, it's definitely something to look forward to for your future of next season. So, high hopes for next season. And for the Bills, I really hope that they don't end up doing this, but this has been an all year kind of thing with them, up and down, up and down. So I really hope they can steady this wave and start riding it and start doing what they do. So that's the hope.
Sammy, I said this last week, man. I'll say it again. Go out and get yourselves a Bill Belichick as your coach. You get him as your coach with Justin Herbert, I promise you that team is a different looking team.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see if he even wants to go there. Yeah. We'll just
If
see.
I was Bill Belichick, that's a location where it's very attractive because of Justin Herbert.
Yep. All right, and let's go ahead and jump into the next game. We got the Colts at the Falcons. Falcons absolutely coming out on top, 29-10. And wow, what a game, Justin! What a game with Heineke at the helm.
Yeah, to be honest, Emily, I didn't really watch this one that much. I was very confused how the Falcons were able to stop the Colts, really. Like, the Colts have been rolling against good teams. I thought, like, for sure, like, even us, like, I thought for sure there'd be more points on the board for the Colts. I just didn't see this game coming. I really didn't. Gardner Minshew threw 20 for 37, 201 yards. He had that one interception, but like, they have Jonathan Taylor. He had 18 carries for only 43 yards. You're telling me the Falcons stopped him that much? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. You had Patterson going off. You had Robinson going off. You had Taylor Heineke going off. 229 yards, 23 for 33. He looked pretty good. And now the Falcons aren't out of it. If the Colts win this one, they're 4th seed. They are the 4th seed. And all they had to do was win against the Falcons. I don't understand it. That should have been the game plan, because if they win, they're 4th seed. They solidified pretty much a playoff spot, really. Either they win the division or they're in the wild card,
I'd have to agree. Big loss for the Colts. Falcons are staying in it now and potentially have a chance to make a wild card spot, or hell, even make number 4 spot.
Oh, one more thing. Kyle Pitts, these last 4 to 5 games, has been playing absolutely out of his mind. Finally showing us the value of Kyle Pitts as a tight end. Finally. Like, it's 3 years. He's finally showing that he can actually ball. Great to see. He's finally catching some TD, finally getting some targets. And I think a lot of that has to do with the new quarterback change, Taylor Heineke, taking over, because he loves dumping off to tight ends.
I think he should have been the quarterback from the beginning. I mean, when Bryce Young was doing, not Bryce Young, I'm sorry. When
Desmond Ridder.
Yep. Whenever how bad honestly he's been performing this year, I would have been playing Taylor Heineke. Don't get me wrong, he has his ups and downs, but he has a lot more ups than downs than freaking
Ridder.
Yeah. So, all right, on to the next one, Justin. We got the Seahawks at the Titans. Seahawks coming out on top, 20-17. All right.
I mean, really, this game, dude, honestly, this shouldn't have been as close as it was. It really shouldn't have. Like 30 seconds left, and, they take a shot down the field into the end zone. DK Metcalf does his thing, and the flag is called for pass interference. Down at the 1 yard line, and that's the end of the game, right? And they score, they win. That is a much-needed win. They lose, we're talking about another team taking over their spot as a 7 seed. Because right now, they're a 7 seed. They lose, they potentially drop out of the playoffs. There's still 2 games left to go, but they can still drop out of the playoffs. They need to start winning more. I'm not too sure what their schedule looks like moving forward. Let me look real quick. We got the Steelers, and then they got the Cardinals. So they can win out. They can still take 6th seed. They can even take the 5th seed from the Cowboys. Like I said, Cowboys would need to lose 2. If they lose 2 and the Seahawks win out or the Rams win out, you can see a little bit of swapping of places here. But yeah, Steve Carroll and the Seahawks, this is nothing new. Really nothing new. They've been winners for a very long time. They've been in the playoffs for a very long time. I believe they're still missing 1 or 2 pieces. Kenneth Walker has been a beast for them. DK Metcalf has been a beast for them. I still believe if they have a different defense, they have like 1 or 2 more pieces on offensive line or on the defense, I believe they're even higher of a team than what they are now.
Yep.
And then for the Titans, one last thing, Sammy.
Sure.
I say this every podcast. Why didn't they trade Derrick Henry? And I'll leave it at that. His contract expires. He's 29 years old. What the hell were they thinking? His contract expires. They could have got value out of him in the trade deadline. Now they lose him for nothing. He can walk, go to another team of his choosing.
They just want him for next year, I guess.
Know. No,
I guess
dude,
they just want him for next year.
If they give him a big contract, Sammy, that is the dumbest thing they can do because he's 29 years old. Yep. Running backs in this league don't last past 32. They just really don't. You don't see a running back in this league over 31, 32. You really don't. So what are you going to do? You're going to give him a 3-year deal for crazy numbers? No, because some other team's going to give him more money. You're either going to lose Hopkins or you're going to lose Derrick Henry, and they have a decision to make.
Yep, they do. Also, real quick, I want to touch up on Seahawks, and they improved their chances now in rallying to beat those Titans. So they improved the playoff chances. So now their playoff chances are definitely a lot higher with that win. So big congrats to the Seahawks on that. All right, off to this next one. We got the Commanders at the Jets, with the Jets coming out on top, 30-28. And wow, this almost ended up being one-sided, and it ended up being a lot closer. Justin, what's going on there?
2 eliminated games. Honestly, guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't watch this game as much. I know Brian Robinson did his thing. And I mean, that's all I got to really say about it. Breece Hall went off this game as well. I did see that. Breece Hall was an absolute beast for them. Garrett Wilson's been going off for him as well. Dude, like, I don't really have much to say about this game. They're both eliminated. I heard Robert Saleh is going to keep his job at least for next year. So you have Robert Saleh for 1 more year, paired up with Aaron Rodgers if he stays healthy. Aaron Rodgers is not going to play any more games this season. Me and Sammy both, we talked about this one. If Aaron Rodgers was going to show up deep in the playoffs, it's if they make the playoffs, right? If they have a chance to make the playoffs, he would have played, right? He would have been the fastest player in NFL history to come back from an ACL tear and be able to play at a NFL level.
Yep, and he actually technically could have started this week. So
one more thing about the Commanders. Ron Rivera is gonna be gone, man. I truly believe this. I'm not too sure if it's his fault or whatnot. You know, they made the trade to get rid of the 2 defensive ends and or the defensive linemen, and now look, you know, the pass rushers are gone, and now their defense.
I mean, they're looking towards their future.
The Jets scored 30.
They're looking towards our future, but
the Jets scored 30. Well, how many times have we seen the Jets score 30 this year, Sammy? And dude, like.
You gotta.
The Commanders are looking for the draft. They're looking for the draft,
Simeon.
and yeah,
amazing.
No, I agree. They're looking towards the draft, Sammy, and I don't understand what's gonna be in their future. I don't know if they get rid of Robert or if they get rid of Ron Rivera and they go elsewhere. You know, Bill Belichick's gonna be on the board. I believe, in my eyes, Bill Belichick's gonna be on the board after this season, Sammy, and he should be a target for a lot of these teams. Commanders, Chargers.
I feel like he should go towards a winning-looking team now.
Yeah, I agree. If he goes to a losing, if he goes to, yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, even the Bills, man, dude, even the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the next one, Justin, as we are definitely running all the time. We got the Packers at the Panthers with, wow, what a close one, 33-30. This was a tight one. Bryce Young actually wowed me a little bit until they ended up not winning. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely saw something. I was like, oh, okay, he actually can do something. First round overall. I mean, I hope he could do something, but hey, let's talk about it, Justin. What's up?
This was a must-win for the Packers in order to even have a chance of making the playoffs. Their chances are very grim still. And when we look back at Aaron Rodgers, he was a third-year rookie, just like Jordan Love. Literally a mirror, like an absolute mirror of Aaron Rodgers. Throws like him, acts like him. It's crazy to see because I didn't see it earlier on this season, but now as the season progressed and I've seen the stats lined up against each other, I know it was two different times. Aaron Rodgers started a lot. I would say Jordan Love's in a softer NFL than Aaron Rodgers was when he started, but regardless, mirroring him, and Aaron Jones finally went off, man. He finally did it. Finally. Now, with that being said, get rid of him. Free my man Aaron Jones. Get him somewhere else. He's just like Derrick Henry. I thought he needed to be traded. He needed to be out of there. Put him on a team that they can use, and I just don't see him with the Packers any longer after this year. He had one good game, Sammy, with the Packers. He's been through injuries like crazy this year. He's probably played around 4 games out of the 16 games that we've seen so far. He's played only like 4 of them. And one of them was like a half game, so really 3.5. And Aaron Jones, it's great to see. He's got a lot of talent, but I don't see him being their guy moving forward, Sammy. I don't. So we'll see what they do with the running game next year. And we'll see if they get eliminated because they have to win out. And then for the Panthers, they were finally able to put up 30 points. Finally.
And they made it a close one, right? They definitely made it a close one. So, we'll see you guys next season for Panthers, and hopefully you guys end up doing better next season. For the Packers, you guys keep your playoff hopes alive, just like the Seahawks. So keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you're winning these last 2 games, and you actually probably are going to make playoffs if you win these last 2 games. So we'll see. All right, off to this next one. We got the Cardinals at the Bears.
This one's going to be a fun one to talk about.
Cardinals at the Bears, with the Bears coming out on top 27-16. Justin, take it away.
I watched this one, man. Dude, I love Justin Fields, right? I think he's a starting quarterback in this league. He is. If you're saying that he's not a starting quarterback in this league, you're wrong. Okay? There's no quarterback in this league, even Chase Young, or not Chase Young. I don't remember his name. Number 1 quarterback coming out of next year's draft. I forgot his name. Forgive me, but Justin Fields is better. Okay? They need to keep him or trade him if they decide to move on. I would love to see him on another team as a starting quarterback. Same thing with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, he deserves a starting quarterback in this league. He does. Both of these teams, they suck, right? Cardinals more than the Bears, but regardless, both of these quarterbacks deserve to be a starting quarterback in this league. They've shown us the talent. It just sucks because of where they are. The Bears moving forward, They have the team. They just need to get it rolling earlier on in the season. Okay, they're getting it rolling way too late in the season, and then DJ Moore got injured this game. He went out, and guess who took the reins, man? Cole Kmet has his season record game. Absolutely tore it up, man. It's great to see Cole Kmet going out there and doing his thing, and I'm not sure about his contract situation, but if his contract's expiring soon, other teams are taking notice, man. This guy is no joke. He's been showing a lot of great stellar play this season that he deserves to be a starting tight end in this league. And a very, very high target on a lot of people's lists.
Definitely a lot of potential with both of these teams, Justin. I agree with both what you said. So, and both of those quarterbacks definitely deserve start as a starting quarterback, deserve the jobs. So hopefully the Bears look for a somewhere else outside of a quarterback position and start beefing up maybe their defense or maybe their offensive line.
Offensive line.
Give him some
on
help.
Both sides, man. Cardinals offensive line, Bears offensive line, and defense.
Give him some help.
Both of those teams, defense and offensive line, that is their problem. Deontay Foreman, he's good enough running back in this league, in my eyes. I think if he had a better offensive line, he would do even better than what he's doing. Same thing with James Conner. Same thing. Both of those guys, elite running backs. They just need a better offensive line to really thrive.
Yep. All right, and last two games we got. So we got the Patriots at the Broncos, and the Patriots end up beating the Broncos and now end up hurting their chances of potentially making the playoffs.
Oh,
Justin,
my goodness.
What's your take on
my
this?
goodness. How in the hell were they able to get down the field and kick a field goal? How in the hell, dude, after the Broncos literally defeated themselves, really, and then they made a comeback. They tied the game, right? Not a lot of time left on the board, and somehow they let them go down the field and score a field goal, and then they give Russell Wilson 2 seconds to make a play happen. That's just detrimental, man. I don't know. I think, dude, they honestly have a cake schedule. I thought the Broncos had the best chance to get the 7th seed, especially after the role they've been having these last 4 or 5 games. Dude, they've been on a roll. They've been looking like a really decent team in this league. And I thought that they deserved the playoff spot after what they've been showing us at the remainder of this year and keeping their composure after losing these tough games, especially against Miami. They kept their composure. They still, were able to win 7 games. Now they're 7-8, and they lost against the Patriots. Even if they went out, guys, I'm so sorry, Broncos fan. Even if they went out, the AFC is so competitive that in order for them to make it, 2 instances. They need the Chiefs to lose out. They pretty much need the 6th or 7th seed, so the Bills or the Colts, Texans. They need all of these teams to lose. They need the Colts to lose, the Texans to lose, the Steelers to lose, the Bengals to lose, and then they need to win out. I don't know if that's possible, guys. I don't know if that's possible. They needed that win against the Patriots. They really did. I am so sorry, Broncos fans, but after that loss, it's looking like you guys are missing the playoffs.
I'd hope you guys over, unfortunately. So, it was one hell of a run. I'll give them that, right?
Yep.
They went from an 0-5 to 1-5 team to end up potentially even making playoffs. So,
yep.
Hey,
no one saw that coming. No one saw that coming. So, great job.
Yep. All right, and off to the last and final game. We got the Giants at the Eagles, and the Eagles barely ended up scraping the win, 33-25. What a game, Justin. Wow. Let's talk. Well, go ahead and take it away, Justin. I can't wait.
As bad as the Giants have been this season, and as bad as they've been against their rivals, the Cowboys, to the division rivals, the Eagles. Dude, they put up 25 points on the Eagles, and you mean to tell me that the Eagles have a chance to still, after losing 3 in a row, make it as a number 1 seed in the NFC? They're looking soft, guys. This team is looking more and more fraudulent. And I don't care about you Eagles fans being like, oh, Jalen Hurts isn't 100%. I don't care if Jalen Hurts is 100%. Okay? I really don't. Y'all had the best record in the NFL. Really, they could have sat Jalen Hurts, right? They had 3 losses in a row. They could have sat Jalen Hurts for 2 of those games. If they have such a good team, they can win without him. I really don't understand how they were able to score 25 points on the Eagles. I don't know how that was possible. They had a chance to beat the Eagles. You're serious? A team that's now eliminated? A team that only won 5 games?
Yeah. And this is a big shout out to the Eagles defense, man. Where are you guys? You guys were number 1 defense in my eyes, at least, for a while, and then you guys really started falling off. And I don't know where it's been these past couple weeks, but you guys need to put all your fucking shit together, and you need to get it together because playoffs are coming up, and your defense needs to step up to the plate. Because at this point, if you guys ended up losing that game, Cowboys end up probably taking number 1 spot. This is really bad luck for the Eagles, and yeah, what more can I say? Like, I want to see more from these Eagles, man.
A team that's literally been
With a rookie quarterback at Giants, man,
dude,
brand new. They're like DeVito. He literally ended up getting out. They take him out after halftime, put in a brand new rookie quarterback, and he ended up putting up 22 points on you guys. What?
yeah, dude, this team looked unbeatable for like 75% of the, actually 80% of the games this year. Week 16, they looked 80% unbeatable, right? Nobody can beat them. We were talking about it even on this podcast, guys. We were saying the Eagles cannot lose. Even when down behind, they found a way to win. Well, these last 3 games they lose. Then they almost lose to the Giants, and it's getting 2 weeks away from the playoffs, guys. This is very, 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 very bad for you guys. Very bad. Yes, you get the win. Yes, you have a possibility to take the number 1 seed, get the bye. But dude, if you guys do not get the bye and you still have the same team and you still are playing like you've been playing for the past 4 games, you guys might get round 1 by a lower seed team. If you guys go against the Rams round 1, the Rams beat you guys.
Watch out.
The Rams beat you guys. Out. You guys go against the Seahawks round 1, the Seahawks beat you guys. They showed you that they can beat you. Who's to say they don't beat you guys again? And that's all I got for it.
Yep.
Hell of a podcast, guys. This is our record time. We went 44 minutes way over time. I hope you guys really enjoyed the podcast. And Sammy, kick it off, and let's get out of here.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. I hope you guys, like Justin was saying, hope you guys really enjoyed. This was like almost like a Christmas special, by the way. Hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
I know I did, and happy holidays. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Make sure you guys, if you guys have it, make sure you guys hit that thumbs. Make sure you guys give us a like. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure you guys subscribe. And make sure you guys also to hit that notification bell to not miss any of our podcasts. We stream every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. If you guys come up in here, you guys ask questions, we are more than happy to answer you guys' questions. We appreciate everything. And we had a pleasure just talking about this week. But yeah, that's all I have. Justin, do you have anything else you would like to say?
If you guys missed any of our weekly content and you would like to go look, it's under our playlist tab under weekly content, NFL podcast, and we have each podcast labeled by week. So if you would like to check those out, check the thumbnail so you can see what we're going to be talking about. The best games that happen. If you want to catch some of the jokes, some of the fun, we even have, our podcast with Webby. We have one of those in there. If you would like to check that out, go ahead and check that out. And we stream every Tuesday at 6 p.m. We hope to see you guys next week. Look forward to watching in 3 weeks. Look forward to watching one of us in a I Love Dak Prescott pink shirt.
That's right.
And we're off.
All right, guys.